The following podcast contains discussion of real crimes, including violence, murder, and disturbing content that may not be suitable for all listeners. Listener discretion is strongly advised. The events and details shared are based on public records, news sources, and court documents. While we strive for accuracy, some elements may be disturbing or upsetting. Please proceed with caution. With that being said, enjoy the podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of You Guessed It. You can't make this BS up. And man, I'm glad to my bad, y'all. Anyway, I'm glad to see you guys. Man, woo! I'm back in the game, guys. I'm back in the game. Man, let me tell you. So I gotta tell y'all guys. So this is what's been going on, right? So let me get my cameras and stuff straightened out so y'all can see me better. So I have been having a hard time getting out content to you guys because my computer, like I told y'all before, got repoed. Life happens. Okay, I'm not a rich guy, and I don't mind telling you guys that I hit hard times. But through the grace of God and striving and working my butt off, putting in some overtime on my real job, I was able to access a better computer that I had before. So this machine here is definitely a lot better than what I had before. I can actually get it in. Well, I could do a whole lot of things on this. This is like a supercomputer, so it's cool. Things are great now. I can actually do what I need to do. I want to say to everyone that's been checking out my latest download or upload that I've had. Let me see what the name of this one. It was called. I know a lot of people have been downloading it and everything, and it actually is called the Sabrina Con Artist show that I was talking about. I need you guys to do me a favor and please leave me some comments on that about that because I did not expect to get that many plays on that. We got off that. That's one of my highest I've had in a long time. We've already got 1,983 downloads off of that one episode. So yeah, um, definitely check that episode out. I did not know this episode was going to be that fire to everybody. It was a scam episode because over here we do it all scam murders. Um, we even are starting to go down what they call the lonely hearts like love scams, everything. We're exposing it all. And I did not know that we were going to get that much in that short of time. So please, please, please definitely check us out. Leave a review on that one. Tell me who you are so I could give you a shout out. Again, guys, still leave reviews and comments. Follow us on all our platforms on Instagram, especially my IG. It's popping a little bit now. We got 66 followers. I want to get to 100 followers by the end of this. In the next 2 weeks. Let's do that. Go over there. You can't make this BS up ever. support. I've always put new content out as soon as I do it. If you want to collaborate with me, or you want to get me to look into a case that you may have had in your hometown or your home city or whatever, shoot me an email, joshua.joel.davis24 at icloud.com. Also, if you want to donate to me, I'm also going to make it available where you can donate to me via Apple Pay too, as well. So I will have my Apple Pay phone number out there on my description. So that way you can just go ahead, and if you want to donate, you can do it that way. A lot of people don't like doing cash apps. They don't like doing the other things. So if you want to do a donation that way, you can. I'll be very appreciative. I love all my fans, and hey, I just want to connect with y'all, and I want y'all to continue to support me, and I want to continue to support you. Like I said before, I'm back in the game now. I can continue to do the content I want to do, and I'm about to make up to y'all about the Black Fridays that I have missed because of all of this. And one of this story is a Black Friday story that was supposed to go out last Friday but didn't make it. But I got it. I got you. On this Black Friday episode, we are going to talk about this story here. A lot of podcasters have already done this story, but I like to do it my way. And this is about a lady out of a school teacher out of Township, New Jersey. I want y'all to listen to me for a minute. Imagine you have been good to people and have done good to others your whole life. You have been a public servant. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get wrapped up in a situation that wasn't even expected for you. And now you are no longer here. And now imagine being a person who is married to someone that amazing. And yeah, made some mistakes in the marriage, around the marriage or whatever have you. But because that person is no longer with us, and because of the circumstances behind it, you live years. I mean, not months, not weeks, but years under a cloud of suspicion to where it ruins your whole life. But this is the story of Janelle Mitchell. That's one of the characters involved. We also got her husband that's also involved in this. Forgot his name. I want to make sure I got his name right. Let me get my notes here, guys. Hold on. I got a lot going on here. So, it's Melton. I'm sorry, guys. It's Melton. I don't know why I said Milton. It's Melton. Janelle Melton. I don't know why I said Milton, but anyway, hold on. I think it's because I'm a little tired. I meant to do this earlier, but I was a little bit gaming a little bit. Michael Melton. Yeah. So we got Janelle Melton, the soon-to-be ex-husband, Michael Melton at the time, and we also have some other players that's involved. I'm just going to put them characters as Ebenezer Bird, Jerry Spalding, and Gregory John Baptiste. Now, I'm going to go ahead on and break down everything I can, and we are going to start with the beginning of the crime. So it's September 14th, 2009. All right, it's a Monday morning. Janelle Melton has not showed up for work. And Janelle Melton was the type of teacher at her elementary school, at her middle school, that she was about being on time. She loved her students. She loved her staff that she worked with. And she did not miss days. And she was, like I said, very prompt. And if she was not coming in, she would let someone know. So with no one not hearing from Janelle at all that morning, raised a whole lot of alarms. Okay, like people like, where is Janelle at? So the co-workers decided, well, you know what? She ain't responding to our calls. She ain't responding to texts. We ain't seen her yet. We need to call the police. So the police does a welfare check. They arrive at her apartment in Brighton Arms complex over there in again, the name of the area is Township, New Township, New Jersey. I want to make sure I'm right here. It's New Township, New Jersey. Yeah, New Township, New Jersey. So they go over there to the apartment, and they're knocking on the door. There's no answer. They're not getting no response. And the police officers, they decide to say, okay, she's not answering the door. People being adamant that something could be wrong with her, she could be hurt. They go and they bust in the door. And when they bust in the door, they discover Jonelle's body. This girl has been beaten. She's been stabbed. She's been hit over the head, and she's in the kitchen, just unrecognizable from being the beautiful, pretty, caramel complected woman that you see in the classroom full of life, to just looking like somebody just beat her up, looking like a meat grinder. And the apartment is just messed up. I mean, stuff everywhere. Broken stuff. It looked like somebody went WWE in this motherfucker. So the police goes up here, they call the coroners and the detectives and stuff to come in. I mean, it's just a mess. It's just unbelievable. People are trying to find out what in the world would somebody want to do this type of harm to this lady. Now let's talk about Janelle. Janelle was not very tall. Janelle was under 5 feet tall. She was more like some say on record, she was between 4'9" to 4'11". So she's a very short woman in stature. She's not a big woman. And so for someone to do this was just horrible. This is just disturbing. And as the police investigate, there's nothing stolen. So the police like, okay, why is that? It couldn't be a robbery because nothing stolen. She had all her important, expensive items that would be possible for someone to steal right there. They was thinking, well, did she had any enemies? People's like, nah, she ain't had no enemies. So as we go in, we got to talk about who is Janelle Melton. Well, born in 1972 and raised in New Jersey, Janelle Melton grew up in a close-knit, faith-centered household. Her parents instilled in her love for learning, history, and service. And those who described her as magnetic, someone who could light up a room and command respect in a classroom, even though she had a short stature. Again, small lady, but a big, bright personality. After earning her teaching degree, Jonelle poured her life into the kids at Red Bank Middle School. And she was always there for the underdog. Someone said they couldn't do something or felt like that they had some kind of debilitating disability holding them back or anything in life, telling them they couldn't do it. She would not hear it. She was about being that support system for them to move forward. Now, and let me rephrase that. It's not New Township, it's Neptune Township, New Jersey, where she's from. So she was recently divorced from Neptune Township police officer. Excuse me, he wasn't a police officer, he was actually a school teacher named also Michael Melton. Now, Michael Melton was the first one that they wanted to they suspect was involved. Okay, I mean, and they said at the time they were still married, but some saying, but most of the reports say ex-husband. So I want to say that they were basically, the divorce got finalized before she died. So they had recently just got finalized. So anyway, when this all happened, the first thing they did was check into the ex-husband. Now, the ex-husband had an airtight alibi and everything, but he did admit that, yes, he did have a new woman on the side that he was dealing with in the midst of the divorce before it got finalized. Now, he said that even though he had this new girlfriend, like a lot of young people do, in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s, I've been that too. You still got that thing, that itch for that old flame. So you're gonna have that, what they call the closure intimacy, the last part where he had the last one a week before she died. He said, they did their thing and they basically, let it do what it do. It was his last hurrah, But he was definitely devastated. Now, after this went down, we're talking about a cold case here now. It became like a cold case. Because they had no witnesses. They had no DNA match. Like, they got DNA from the scene, but they didn't match nobody in the system. You know what I'm saying? And there was no arrest. So we're talking about this case went cold for 5 years. And during that time, Michael Melton was so much under suspicion that when he went back to his school to try to teach, they did not even let him be in the classroom with other kids. He got isolated from that. And where he was talking, and like his career just went on pause along with that case. Like, I guess he must have got out the teaching field because nobody didn't want to deal with him. Nobody didn't, he just got people treat him like he was a suspect. Like, oh yeah, we know you killed your wife, kind of thing. It's just a matter of time. So it gets worse for Michael, her husband. And this is just some tidbits here. Her ex-husband tried to reach out to her family, like, hey, I'm trying to show support. I'm trying to tell y'all it's not me. I'm cooperating. They gave him the cold shoulder. They actually even thought he did it. So Michael went through a very bad time in his life. Depression. He started drinking. He just really was giving up because he felt like in his mind that it's just nobody cared. So as 5 years hit, a new investigator takes over the case. New investigator reaches out to Michael, tells Michael, hey man, I'm taking over this case. Don't really go into detail who the new guy is. He said, but I'm going to let you know, I know from what I'm seeing just by looking at this paperwork that you didn't do it. That's just all I'm going to say. I know you didn't do it, and I'm going to prove it. So after he told him that, about a year later, this is going on 2015 now. There's an informant gives this new guy a tip, the investigator. He like, yo, listen, man. He said, I'm in prison right now. But I know what happened that lady. And word on the street is this woman was killed because of a botched robbery. Botched robbery. Now, we already know, if you follow true crime, that the botched robbery set up or look, set up or look like, always go like the house, like the place was strolled, like the crime scene was designed in Miss Melton's house. But most of the time, it's somebody trying to mask it, it's a hit or whatever. But, hearing that, they was like, okay, I don't know about this, but let's just check it out. So the guy told him, listen, I'm gonna give you this. These people was involved were like a crew. They had a girl driver, and they would just go to different spots all through the city and break in these houses that they thought had valuables, get it, and was out. Okay? And they were ruthless about it. And he said, I could even give you the name of the female that was involved. That was the driver. Her name was Elizabeth Pinto. Now, I don't really know too much about Elizabeth Pinto and her background of her upbringing. But I'm going to try to see what I can tell you about Miss Elizabeth Pinto. Now, from what I can recollect, Elizabeth Pinto was dating one of these guys. Now, I don't know how long. But I think she was dealing with one of the guys. But either way it goes, is that she was friends with the rest of the guys. So she was dealing with one, friends with the other. And they asked her to do them a favor. They're like, hey, listen, I need you to drive me around because we got to hit this lick. And so when she was talking to the police, she was like, yeah, I drove there. They told me nobody was getting hurt. We're doing in and out. Most of the time I drove into these places, nobody didn't get hurt until this last one in Brighton Arms. She said it was crazy. She waited in the car. You know what I'm saying? They came back. They basically told her like, yo, we got to get out of here. Some things done got crazy with this particular robbery here on Brighton Arms. And they told her what they did, and she kept quiet because she knew, these street dudes, these dudes are straight, menace. Now, the reason why she also told on herself because they promised her a sweet deal as well. They told Elizabeth, listen, man, you tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? You get full immunity. And that requires you to also testify as a witness. You can't do those two things, and we find and prove that you were part of it, no immunity for you. So she jumped on it. Man, I can't blame her. I mean, come on. Not too often the getaway driver gets the best deal. You know what I mean? So she fully cooperated. She talked about how many houses they went in, what their role was, and things like that. And because of that, she was one of the key people that will later help out into this case. So as soon as they got this information from old girl, they went up here and decided to find out who in the hell were these people. Because she found out that they also told her that Jonelle was not the intended target. This was somebody else in another unit. They got the unit wrong. And because they got seen by Janelle, even though they were masked up, they were like, fuck that, she gotta go. So here is the men that were involved in this. And when I tell you this is crazy, this is straight crazy. Now, I'm going to show you the woman of the hour here before we say the suspects, because you want to know who she is. So the woman that told everything, and we're going to paste it right here. And this is all public record. I will also have this on my Instagram as well. This right here is the young lady, as you see, in front of us, Elizabeth Pinto. Now, again, Elizabeth Pinto used to deal with one of these dudes as her boyfriend, but her being the getaway driver and trying to secure the immunity, she went on ahead and flipped. And you can tell she is the hood girl that thugs love. You see the print right here with the tattoos on top of the hands and the tattoos there and the long nails. I'm not saying all, but at least about 90% of them hood girls, that's how they dress. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they get down. So that's just some commentary for you. But yeah, that's her. Now, let's talk about the suspects. Because we all want to know who in the hell is these suspects? What were they thinking? Oh, but I'm about to show you. About to show you who these jackasses is and why I have no love for them at all. And here we go with these guys right here. I'm going to blow them up right quick so you guys can see. I'm going to zoom in so we can get more clarity here of these guys. Thank you. So on the left, we got James Fair. That's right. And then in the middle, we got Ebenezer Bird. And on the right, we got want to say Gregory John Baptiste. Now, again, all these guys were career felons. Now, there was also the fourth guy. Now, the fourth guy that they don't have a picture of is Jerry Spalding. Now, Jerry Spalding, he was also involved as well. So you got James Fair, mastermind, Ebenezer Bird, he was like the enforcer. You got Gregory John Baptiste, and the fourth one was James Fair, because he the one that came up with all of everything that was going on. And it's sad that this happened to this lady, because again, she was a good teacher. She really was, and she loved these kids. He was the one that told them that she saw the faces that she had to go. So, yeah. And that what happened. So when they arrested these guys and everything else, they did not see it coming. Now, the reason why they were up there at Brighton Arms anyway, because they were looking for an apartment that they were told a certain number had a whole bunch of cash and drugs inside. And they were told that nobody was there. It was a it was a what do you call it, a vacant apartment. Basically, nobody's inside. It's empty. We get this cash and we go. Now, let's talk about some of the killers' background in the group. So, Ebenezer Bird, he's from Ashbury Park, and he had a bunch of burglary, and weapon charges. And he was considered like the enforcer of the group. He was a guy that, he made shit happen. If the band said, hey, what I'm saying, James felt like, hey man, I need you to handle that shit. He handled it. You know what I mean? Jerry Spalding. Now he was from Neptune Township. He has been like in and out of trouble since he was a juvenile. I mean, by the time he was 18, he had already had a career racking up a bunch of charges for drug dealing and carjacking, because that's all he know. Now, Gregory Jean Baptiste, sound like he Haitian, had a long history of assault and home invasions. He reportedly planned the robbery and mistakenly identified Jonelle's apartment. So he was the one that like, yo man, I got this lick. I heard him Brighton Arms. This dude got everything that we need to come up. And then James Fair was like the guy that basically could okay it, because he was the ring, he's the leader. He's like, yeah, you sure? Yeah, I'm sure, man. Let's do this, man. Let's get it. And so he probably like, all right, let's get it then. And that's how that all played out. Which that's how it usually play out. You know what I'm saying? People like that, that's what they do. Sad but true. So they are all connected to street level gangs, and they have violent past. So in 2017, after they done been arrested and everything else, during the trial, like I said, Um, Burr, Spalding, and John Baptiste, they stood their trial. Witnesses, jailhouse statements. That's right, they were talking in jail. And phone records. That means even jail phone calls just destroyed the narrative of they were not guilty. Like it just painted a bad picture. The three men were convicted of felony murder, conspiracy, burglary, and robbery. Each received a life sentence. Now, here's what crazy when you look at this. When they were being sentenced, they never showed none of them showed no remorse. None of the guys showed no remorse. When they was in there, they were just as cold and as ruthless as you can be. These were some cold guys, man. These dudes were evil, straight up. You know, like you can tell when somebody commit a crime that's in the streets and they only did it because they were just trying to survive versus somebody who are in the streets and love that street mentality and don't have no remorse for any of the actions that they do connected to the streets, especially destroying lives and hurting people. That's the type of people they are. They are the most evil type of people you want to deal with. Those are the type of people that scare me. Real talk, man. I used to tell people that all the time. Like when it comes to this, when it comes to street people, the ones that scare me the most is the ones that have no conscience of doing any kind of street stuff, that anything to keep their street cred or be loyal to the streets. That's whew, none of the ones that scare me the most. They really do. So with Janelle Melton's death was being so tragic, there were some positives. Michael Melton got his life together finally. He was able to see these men in court. He was able to face his demons and understand that Jonelle would not have want him to continuously put himself through what he was putting himself through. So now he's better. I don't know if he's teaching anywhere, but I do know that he has stopped drinking and he's got himself healthy and he's moving forward. Let's see here. In the honor and in her honor of for Janelle Melton's legacy, there was a scholarship that was created for aspiring teachers. So they're going to make sure that her legacy continue to move on throughout this lifetime. So y'all know what time it is. Before I even get y'all y'all know what time it is. It's the time of my reflections on what these guys have have actually done. So with that being stated, let me play that intro right quick. All right, so here's my thoughts here, man, on my reflection on this case. So first reflection on this case I want to talk about is um Michael Melton. I can imagine in my mind how devastating that was to find out that your wife that you just divorced, you still had feelings for, but you was also trying to move on because you felt like y'all wasn't compatible, to hear that all of a sudden she's dead. And then everybody just from day one looking at you like you're the suspect. Like, bro, I can imagine how nerve-wracking that would have been for this man. Um, let's see. Another thing that I also want to reflect on is the actual moment that Janelle must have felt when she hearing all this noise downstairs or in her apartment, and come to see three masked men in there, uh, trying to trying to rob her place, and then all of a sudden they just start getting violent with her because they scared that she saw their face or heard what they were saying. I personally felt like this: if you was got the wrong place, it wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? The lady saw you. Y'all should have just aborted the mission. I mean, killing the lady was not it, bro. Like now, y'all went from a burglary charge where you probably could have got the most, maybe 10 or 12 years out the game of that at that time, based upon sentencing guidelines, to now y'all got life in prison. You never getting out. Y'all took a life. Like, come on, man. Y'all should have known better. And some of y'all was already facing time or already doing time. So it's just crazy. So to me, I just could not understand that. Like I could never get the reason why nobody didn't take that common sense part of the situation. Let's see here. My other reflection is on the investigator who really went above and beyond to solve the case. Telling Michael that he believed in him and that he knew that he didn't do it. That was powerful. I wish there were more investigators and detectives like that, because usually detectives, man, they ain't gonna try to encourage nobody. You know what I'm saying? Even if they know they didn't do it, they still gonna like not really say it like that. You know, they gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna look at this case and I'm gonna go with the evidence, leave me, kind of thing. But in this case here, you know, this guy knew what he was looking at and knew what to aim for. Elizabeth Pinto, I still think that she should have gotten more time. I'm sorry. I understand they had to make a deal with her so that way they can get her to talk and give her full immunity. But I think that was some bullshit that they just threw that out there immediately just to get a 5-year case off. I mean, sometimes I feel like the police do not understand the severity of a lot of these people actions. She knew for years what was going on. She didn't tell nobody, and she was driving around robbing people. I'm sorry. She should have got at least accessory charge. She should at least did about 5 or 10 years in prison, because this is just not right. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that. I'm so scared. Nah, you knew what you was doing. You was helping your friend. You said I was down to help my friend with a robbery. That lets me know that you was about that life. You was about that life. So you being about that life, you should be held accountable like the rest. So yeah, I was very, very pissed off that she did not get no time. And the last thing I want to talk about is the actual suspects. Man, like how dumb were y'all? Y'all thought that this girl driving y'all around was never gonna not tell? I mean, she was gonna tell eventually. I mean, it's a cold case. You don't think somebody wasn't gonna know that she hung around y'all and word was gonna get back and she was gonna be on the hot seat? I'm just saying, I felt like y'all should have done that alone. Y'all should have had one of y'all to be a driver, the other dude to do what they need to do, and then y'all could have kept all that secret in. But unfortunately, y'all stuck to the code though. Y'all didn't rat on each other. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? As I can see, based upon the paperwork, y'all didn't rat on each other. Y'all didn't say who did this or who did that. You made them figure it out. But at the end of the day, y'all deserve what y'all got. So, with that being stated, the more of this story is this. Justice may have taken a long time for Janelle Melton's family, but it came. And Jonelle's story reminds us all to never stop fighting for the truth. And not to mention, you can also find an ally in the most unexpected places. Example given when Michael was at his last rope of hope. Like he just didn't even want to hope anymore. He had that detective reach out to him and call him and told him, I know you didn't do it and I'm going to prove it. So with that being said, y'all, please tell me what y'all think of the show. If you seeing this on YouTube, y'all know, like, share, subscribe. If you're hearing on my podcast, get in the comment section, support us, man. Like I said, we're trying to grow. With that being stated, y'all know what it is. I'm out.